Shut up, Thunder. Hi, welcome to Two Ordinary Nerds, also known as the Weather Channel. How you doing today, Daniel?
I'm doing great. It's stormy outside. It's kind of cold. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice spring weather. You know, here in Kansas, we have what is known as spring. For people that live in the desert, fuck you. You don't understand what we're talking about.
So...
Oh, also, if you live in Serbia, fuck you, it's cold there.
So what are you drinking today? What are we drinking today?
Today, we're drinking on Nobel Prize. It's from our world-famous Boulevard Brewery here in Kansas City.
Because we like to promote our local beers.
And they always have good shit. And it's a Imperial Pilsner. So
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. It's not horrible. It's not...
It's not horrible. I like it. It's not horrible. It's a really good beer. It's a medium dark beer.
It's like a dark ale. It doesn't taste like an English ale. It's not like a... You know how...
It got good flavor.
Yeah, it does. It's not as harsh as
but it's
like
not
Smittix.
Mm-hmm.
It's
lighter. It's not a heavy beer either.
No.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Like I could have a couple of these. I would say in a spring day. I don't know about summer. Summer might be a little bad.
But a spring day, today is perfect.
Fall. This is probably a good fall beer. But yeah, this is part of Boulevard's their smokestack series. It's a special series of beers that they have that they sell at a higher cost to us consumers until they give us free beer on this podcast.
One day.
www.gofundme.
I think that's because just to get forward to, try to get us some free beer. I'm gonna say next week we're gonna have another Boulevard beer.
I agree. Next week we are gonna have another Boulevard beer.
So,
and
I think I'm more tropical.
Yeah. We have two podcasts that are going to be coming out earlier than this one because I was an idiot and forgot to edit them. So that's for you fans out there, all 19 of you.
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, today, other than the Thunder, I was thinking we could talk about country music.
All right.
So this week we're just going to talk about the rest of the season Walking Dead. Next season, we're going to probably just stick with the beginning, middle, and end. Well, we'll probably talk about 4 episodes next time. We'll probably
yeah, we can say beginning. We're gonna the first episode. Then we're gonna talk about more in the middle,
mid-season finale.
Mid-season finale.
The beginning of the mid-season, and then the finale. We're not gonna go through every episode because it just feels like it consumes a lot
of our It feels like it's a Walking Dead podcast.
Yeah, and that's not what it is. Although I would definitely have that podcast. So yeah. I would get on your knees and beg for your life because you're about to get Lucille'd.
I thought it was going to be swing, 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 better, swing, but it's a miss.
That works. Alright, so...
Before you start... You're the expert in Walking Dead, and
I'm not an expert, but I do try.
So people who watch Walking Dead, they know that and watch the finale, know that Rick, spoiler, but Rick gets betrayed by the garbage people.
We call them, they're like garbage pail kids.
I was gonna call him, what's the guy from Sesame Street? Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Okay.
I like to call them, the Oscar the Grouch clan.
That actually is really nice. I like that.
So, but my thing is, they're not in the comics.
Mm-mm.
So I want you to more or less, before we jump into the episode strong, what's your opinion about Oscar the Grouch, fan base, and did you saw it coming? Did it bother you that happened? Did it just because you read the comics and the show? Which one do you think portrayed that moment better? Were you shocked when it happened? You were like, holy shit, what was going to happen now?
That part doesn't happen in the comics. They don't have any of the garbage pail kids. And I think the reason why they put that in there, spoiler for the comics, there's a group called the Whisperers that come out. And they're very awkward and weird like the garbage pail people. Well, most of the garbage pail people, or Oscar the Grouch clan, they got killed by Rick and Morty and all their friends. So I think, because you see at the end of the episode, Rick's new love interest and her sidekick left. They escaped before they could get killed. The two leaders of the Oscar and Grouch clan. I think
they're going to become the Whispers?
I think they're going to become the Whispers because her right-hand guy, his name is Beta, and he looks just like him. Like his clothes, everything looks just like his trench coat because he wears a trench coat and not jeans, but like pants like that guy's wearing. And then she is completely awkward and weird like that lady.
But did you like
the twist?
The twist. Did you like it or / did you expected it?
I always like it when they change it up from the comic because it unlike a movie where you go in like The Hobbit, you go in hoping it's like the book. With the comic book and it being a TV show, I like it when they have different twists because they have so much more continuity in a show that they could add more in there. And I think it added more into there because, I mean, as a suspense factor, you're like, deep down inside I knew Carl's not about to get his head bashed in. And I knew based off the comics that when that scene was when Shiva was going to come out and, attack. But I liked the twist. I didn't expect them to turn on Rick and the gang. I thought they were something. I told a friend of mine that was watching it with me, I told her that I think that they're sketchy. I don't think that something's not right with them. I feel that, and it turned out right, they had a better deal. My question and complaint is, how the hell did Negan find these people? If Rick and them just found them randomly and no one knew about them until this time, did they just so happen to stumble upon them?
I think they went and the leaders went to talk to Negan and said, this is what happens. Because they already got the guns to what they wanted.
But no one knows where the sanctuary is except for Jesus, Daryl.
I just think they just waited or did something. But now that you said that, let's go jump into the episode. What do you thought about the finale?
As the comic book fan, I got what I wanted. I mean, it is so good. You saw I've been saying this all week. It was better than the comic because in the comic we don't have Morgan and we don't have Carol anymore. They've died. So having them...
But you have other characters. They're still alive.
Not as cool as them. No one else is in there. Everyone in the comic, I mean, Glenn, Abraham, all these people have died. So realistically, you have everyone that's in the comic there right now. They just added Carol and Morgan, which is really freaking cool because they're both, I mean,
But Carol's not like the comics. Carol in the comic was...
Exactly.
Never went badass.
Yeah, that's why it's awesome to have a different, I feel like those characters in the show, I relate to them more than the other characters. But yeah, I really liked the whole Shiva attack, especially because Negan's like, it's like, they got a goddamn tiger! God damn it! And then he's shooting at people and doing whatever he's doing. And I love the ending when he drives off and he flips them off.
Ending bothered me.
Why?
Because they shot that truck like 1,000 times, like 100 bullets, and not a single one hit. Like they can hit a walker 1.5 miles away, no problem whatsoever. Never headshots every fucking walker, nobody. But the first fucking semi truck going from 0 to 50, and everybody in their fucking mother's business, not a single scratch or anything. That he's able to pull his hand off and finger it. That thing bothered me of the episode. The other thing that I noticed that bothered me, nobody fucking reloads in this show.
No.
Nobody fucking reloads.
No one reloads in anything except for John Wick.
Yeah, but I mean, it bothers me. Like, it was, like, there were some points that was just non-stop shooting. And I was like, no, they need to reload.
Yeah.
They need to reload. And I mean, I know it's a small complaint.
Daryl did that. Well, he didn't reload, but he picked up new weapons.
Yeah, but I mean, I wish they reload a little. Like, I mean, it's once or twice because, it gets kind of annoying when you see Rick with his revolver just shooting 20 bullets and never had to spend 2 minutes, putting.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But overall, I enjoyed it.
They do try to make it more realistic, and if they're going to do that versus making it a comic book show, they should show reloading. I definitely agree with that.
But I mean, that was my thing. I enjoyed the show. I was shocked when the when
Oscar the Grouch clan.
When Oscar the Grouch clan betrayed them, and I was wondering maybe they will do something weird. Maybe instead of bashing, I was thinking before he bashes, I was thinking maybe to make a difference, Rick is gonna stop it with the sand.
Oh, then lose his arm.
Lose his arm stop the bat with his hand. Lose his arm.
He did get shot.
He did get shot, but then something else I was now remembering. So Michonne gets like her face beaten up, but she's the one in the hospital like just laying.
Yeah,
and.
Well, he got
shot.
He got a through the hip, so I don't think he.
It's still like if you get
shot. It was like right there on the edge. So,
but he started running. Yeah. He should have been like also in the next bed together. Maybe Carl taking care of both of them.
How the hell is he still fighting too? I mean, it must have been her drilling him, but he did get fucking shot. Like I'm just thinking about that now. Like. He was shot,
and then he started running.
He got up and down, he killed people.
He got shot, he got pushed over the fucking leg.
And he was giving a speech after he got shot. What the fuck, Rick? Rick is Wolverine!
So that was one of my, also like I was thinking, I thought it would have, they missed the opportunity of having Carl taking care of both of them.
Dude, okay, first off, let's do a cliff note here and say that Carl is a bad motherfucker, dude. I so hope that kid doesn't quit Walking Dead because of college. Because he was just like, Rick was sitting there like, oh shit, these people are traitors. And then all of a sudden, Sasha comes out and he's dead. He's like, oh no, fuck you. He's like, double tap, pop, pop. Fucking dude, he did some John Wick shit. He fucking kneecapped one dude, then shot the other guy in the head. I was like, oh fuck.
Fucking Rick was the only one to take forever too, although he was also being pointed by the leader.
I do like how they show the difference, with Enid and Carl, how, because they're younger, she's like, can you live with the killing, or kind of like Wolverine, like how do you live with the killing? It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. You have to live with it. You remember all of them. And Carl says something like that.
But yeah, I do like that progression of Carl from a kid to as an adult. But yeah, that progression is good, and I think it's a natural progression, and I think it helps with also because he also is getting, it's not like an adult playing a kid. He was a kid playing a kid, a kid playing a teenager playing a teenager, and the 18-year-old playing like a 18-year-old kid. So I thought he was great. He did a really good job. It's just, like I said, it's just I hope he doesn't quit because
he does a really good job, and I like Negan's like, I'm going to hit him with one swing, Rick, because I really like your kid. He's pretty awesome. And I did like in this episode that they gave a nod to the fans and gave Abe one last one-liner where he's like, I don't like the sand because it's like dragging your balls through glass or something like that. And I was like, yes, he's got one more.
I did not like that scene. I didn't like the scene.
It didn't fit right then. I mean, I get why she was remembering it, but it should have just been in the beginning. Like when Abraham died, it would have been better if it would have been remembered then.
Yeah, did you think that going with Abraham and what's her name? Sasha. Do you think Dwight? No, it's not Dwight. What's the
Eugene?
Eugene. Wow, my head, I don't know what it is. Do you think Eugene knew that Sasha was going to do that and plan all that?
No, I don't think he expected that. And Dwight didn't know either. He was the one who left that little totem for Daryl that Daryl found afterwards, that chess piece, and it said, I didn't know. Because Dwight he's trying to convey to Daryl, like, dude, I am not fucking with you. I am trying to be on your side here.
Yeah.
Which, for comic book fans, he is the turning point of the war. I mean, if it's not for him, I mean, they would. You'll see later, but they would lose.
They may change it.
They might change it.
I think they might change it because Eugene is getting a little bit more than I think that he did in the comics. Because in the comics, he just builds bullets.
No, he has a lot of parts in there, but I
think Eugene will be the one that makes the betrayal. That sets the point out.
Well, no, Dwight is doing Dwight's part. I mean, that whole part where he's not in the cell in the comic, but they have him in a dark room and his arms are tied and he's in a chair. But in the comic, they beat the shit out of him. I mean,
doesn't he come out of in the kingdom?
Mm-mm.
No, he walk out of the kingdom and he's like, I'm the one.
No, he goes to Alexandria.
Huh. But yeah, I think
it'd be interesting to see who lives and who dies throughout the war. I definitely think
somebody.
That'll be interesting. Okay, at the end of this episode, what we'll do is we'll do like a March Madness bracket, and we'll see who our contestants are for living. I mean, obviously the main characters will probably live, but one complaint that I was going to bring up while when you were talking is, I was talking about this with my girlfriend, is, and I understand with as many characters that they have, and there's specific actors that have to get more screen time because of being paid, but there's a lot of, like, Daryl didn't really, he had a full episode, but he didn't really talk that much. Daryl wasn't as much Daryl as usual.
Could it be because of he has the TV show riding the bike, so he didn't have time to be able to...
No, I mean, he was in the show plenty, he just didn't talk a lot. And I think a lot of the reason why is because he was just fucked up from watching his friends get killed and living with the fact that he basically got Glenn killed. I mean, Daryl didn't make Negan kill Glenn, but because of his actions directly related
to... he had made him, but because of his fault, Glenn died. But, I mean, it's...
They didn't... Also, I mean, if you think about it, like, Carl didn't really have much this season to do. Enid had some, but not really a lot. And a lot of the main characters didn't really have... Carol had some... I just felt like...
I do agree but I do agree with you. It's because Carol was just fucked up. He's like, I need to leave, and so that they try to portray Carol's like loneliness and all the like how break they are inside because they're the group, because who died was the group.
Yeah,
it wasn't a few of Alexandria.
They did bring. Oh, that's a good thing. I did a good twist. I didn't think about that because it's not about the people dying. It was the group and them coming together is what made it, their unity better or whatever.
So I think that's the point, and I do agree with you, but I think that's they try to portray that like the essential core group was broken, and now Alexandria can rise. Alexandria could not rise because it was still the group.
Well,
and
the army couldn't.
The army or Alexandria could not be powerful because it was the group. The group was there. Maggie was there. Anybody was there. After that, the group broke. Mm-hmm. Maggie went one way to the Hilltop.
Well, they had to send Maggie somewhere to save her life.
But that's the idea. Like, the group broke the group, but now Alexandria can rise stronger.
I think...
Because it was only... What's the gay guy was there?
Oh, Aaron?
Aaron was I think Aaron was the only one that really joined the group. All the rest of Alexandrians were like, You don't know. You do not know what's out there. You do not know. Trust me. I know what I do.
Yeah.
Trust our group. Our group will keep you safe. And then the group fucked up. And they had to be like, we're not in command. The group is gone. Now we have to be one.
I think that this season would be...
It's a good season.
Yeah, it was a good season. I mean, a lot of people... I've heard a lot of complaints about the season. People are like, oh, it's boring, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you can't consistently have... If you're going to go into a season that is literally called All Out War, you can't have anything crazy before then. I mean, it had some good parts and had slow parts. I mean, yeah...
It had more slow parts than normal.
I think, like, for instance, that Tara and Heath episode, they could have taken that out. I mean, I understand it was cool for her to go meet the seaside people or whatever, but they could have just taken that fucking episode out. They could have combined it with...
But I think they did that because they needed to get weapons. So if they or they kept the trash people out, so the equipment they found in the boat was theirs, or they needed those people to get the guns.
What they could have done is done, just like Thrones have done, and what they started to do at the end of the season is combining stories in an episode.
But combining that with Thrones, where Thrones literally kills main characters left and right.
Correct, but they have multiple storylines each episode. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
Instead of just having one continuous... I understand, like, if they have a backstory episode, like Morgan's episode, that is one of the best episodes of Walking Dead, I think. That is a really good episode. But the whole Tara and Heath episode could have easily been split up into parts of other episodes. Like Rick and Michonne's episode was good, but they could have added some of that in there. So I don't know.
With the fake deer? You mean there?
Yeah.
So what was your favorite scene in this episode?
In the last episode?
Yeah. Last episode, favorite scene of the last episode, favorite scene of the season?
For the last episode, I mean, if I had to choose definitively, my favorite part was when Shiva came in and Ezekiel was like, oh, no one shall fall today, like he's talking like he's a medieval king.
They did a good job in that CGI with Shiva.
I got so many cold chills and I got emotional. I mean, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry because I love the comic so much, and to see that portrayed in real life is just like, oh, and they picked so fucking good actors, man. The actors that portray the parts. The guy who plays Ezekiel is just phenomenal.
Yeah, he nails that part. He nails it. Sorry.
And then I think if I had to have a runner-up, it would have been Negan's part when he was like, God damn it, and I'm sure with the Blu-ray version, he's going to be like, they have a fucking tiger! That part, or when he flips him off when he leaves, because that is so Negan. Like, when even though he's like, oh fuck, we're getting shot at, he's so cocky and arrogant that he's just going to be like, nah, fuck you, I'll get you back.
Mm-hmm. And the favorite of this on the show?
The favorite?
Not the show, the season.
The season?
Is it still the same one?
I would probably say my favorite part of the season was... It would probably be tied, because I love the lineup, the first episode. I love just when they do the lineup and he just beats the fuck out of him, because that's just one of the best parts of the comic. But I also love
the Shiva
part, because you go through 16 episodes, 16 weeks basically, of wanting your family back together. You're like, oh man, I want them back together, I want them reunited, and then that happens.
I don't think it happens. I don't think they've reunited. I think they were allies, but I think that the core family is destroyed. It's gone.
Well,
Maggie is going to be the Hilltop now.
Well, she's always going to stay there. Because
but now Maggie is not part of the core. Maggie is going to be a good leader and be what the Hilltops needs. And I think Carol is going to go back to the kingdom. Mm-hmm. So they all going to disappear. So the family, it's gone. I think that's the important part of this season, and why you have to realize that it's gone.
It's growing. I mean, it's just.
I don't think it's going. I think it's the core survivors are gone, and now there's the Hilltop. They're allies, and they're. But I don't consider them as a family anymore. I think the family got destroyed by Negan.
I think that they're still family, because based just from going through the comic book wise, they're still family there, because. Rick goes and visits Maggie.
But it's like your cousin that lives in the next town.
Yeah, so your family, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not the family like it used to be.
But if something were to happen, just like Maggie, she's pregnant, but she's like, I'm going to save them.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like the first couple of seasons with the caravan and moving, that was the family.
Oh yeah, and now that's not going to be. I understand. That's what you're saying now. Okay, yeah, no, that's done. There's not going to be.
My favorite part of the last episode was when, and I guess I'll go with my favorite part of the season, and then we'll go with favorite episode because they're very attached. The first part of the season is when Negan breaks Rick. When you see him being able, and not being able to control, and losing it that moment, and the same moment the last episode, but Negan is like, Negan thinks he broke him again.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna kill you.
He's like, I'm not changing my mind.
I'm gonna kill you. If it's not today, it's tomorrow. You can kill you're dead. And that moment, that different moment, because in that moment, Negan, he's like...
He got so pissed, dude. He's like...
I'm not sure if he got pissed or he's like, he was expecting to break him.
Yeah.
And realizing like, no, I'm not gonna be able to break him.
Well, he met his match.
Uh-huh.
That's why I can't wait for the buddy adventures of Negan and Rick.
But
spoiler alert.
But yeah, but you know what I mean? That two moments were the same. They were like Rick losing it and Rick going back to like, you can kill my son, but I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, and I think Carl in that instance, a lot of people were asking, I saw him Talking Dead. Like, oh, do you think Carl was okay, or he's going to have a one-on-one with Carl and be like, hey, sorry, I was about to make you dead. Because Rick didn't know that no one was going to show up and help them. He had no idea.
I think it was more knowing what's going to happen. He was like, I think if Carl would have been dead, he would have been dead. So he just wanted to see his
Yeah.
face. Like, I'm going to kill you. You hit him, and the first thing you're going to do is just going to go to your jugular and chew it off. But the different ones is when the first time he broke Rick.
Oh yeah,
he broke the family.
Was crying and
And then the second one is I don't know. I like that evolution. The two scenes were similar. Were really similar. Both of them he laid down, looks him directly in the eyes. And the first one he has those smacky comments, and he can tell that he broke him, and he was like ha ha ha. But this one he was like you said, mad. But I don't think mad. I think he was like shocked. Like it's the first time somebody is like in that moment fighting. Like no, I'm not gonna take your shit. That's number two. My two favorites. My favorite is when Rick broke, just because both actors did a great job in that scene. It was just so powerful.
They had great chemistry together.
Mm-hmm. But the second one, it just works so. Loving that first episode and loving that part, it was just great.
All right, I think now is a good time right before we end, where we can just discuss who we, are. I think we should actually make this kind of like a bracket. I think we should make a bracket for next season, and we can periodically go through our podcast and see, okay, this is right now we're just going to throw out some names of who we think, but I think as we get closer, we should make some form of a bracket and see who is going to win, and then we could have a bet. Whoever has the most or the correct deaths.
I'll say we all pick. I'll say there's going to be 3 major deaths. Daryl. I'm going to go with a hard one first. I'm going to go Daryl. The leader of the Hilltop, whatever his name is.
Gregory?
Yeah, he's there. He's gone.
I mean, this is your runner-up.
I think they're going to Gregory.
I know how Gregory does, so I hope that they do it the same, because in the comic it's really fucked up how he does.
I think he's going to die.
He could still easily die at this point. So
I think Daryl's going to die. And I'm thinking in the Hilltop, the guy with the big axe.
Oh, yeah. God damn, I hope he doesn't die. I really like his character.
Those 3. I think I put one from the Hilltop. Listen to that. Instead of making a bracket, because a bracket you need to have 1 versus 1. Let's do, who do you think is going to die from the Hilltop? Who do you think is going to die from the Kingdom?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go Daryl.
And this is for all 16 episodes, the whole season. We have to. It counts for all of it. So, and then at the end of this time next year,
Then my Hilltop versus your Hilltop.
Yeah.
And then it goes.
Okay. So I think. Oh man.
Hilltop.
Oh shit! What the hell's going on? Where did that happen?
No. So you got.
I think Hilltop. I don't think anyone's gonna die unless it's Enid. I could see them maybe killing Enid off because they killed Beth, and she's basically the same age as Beth. I like Enid more because she's not as annoying, so I hope they don't kill her.
So you're going to go with Enid?
I do think Enid.
You need to pick one. You need to pick one.
I'll go with Enid because there's not really anybody. If anybody dies in that part, they're.
We're guessing, so it's Enid versus Gregory.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's fine. Alexandria.
I got Daryl versus. And it has to be a main character. A character. It can't be like some random neighbor from the.
And we can't pick the same people.
Mm-hmm. And just because I went first, I guess. Do you want to choose Daryl and I choose somebody else?
Mm-mm. I would pick. I think Daryl's a good contestant. The only reason why I think that is because Norman Reedus posted a picture today of when Abraham, Sasha, and him were in that. They get stopped by the Saviors the first time, and then he blows them up with the bazooka. Mm-hmm. And all 3 of them are there, and 2 of them are dead now. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if that's foreshadowing. Oh man, who else is there in Alexandria?
You can go with Rick, Carol, not Carol. Carol's in Rick.
You see, that's my thing, is because 2 of the people that I think are going to die are at the Hilltop. Yep. Not Hilltop, but the Kingdom.
Okay, so you have to pick one.
Let me think.
It could be the husband of the gay guy.
No,
you can pick.
It has to be something impactful. It's definitely not going to be Aaron. I don't see Aaron dying.
I want to say Lolita, but it's not Lolita. What's her name? The Hispanic chick.
Rosita?
Rosita's a good contender.
I can only wish.
She's a good contender.
I'll go with Rosita because they did change it up because Andrea died in season 3 versus being alive now, and I could see them killing her off because she is really cocky right now, and she's really just.
I think now
she got shot too.
I think Rosita's not gonna...
Oh! No! Change that. Tara's gonna fucking get it. Tara's gonna die. She seems like a character that's gonna get it.
I was gonna say Rosita, I don't think is gonna die just because she wanted to die, and it's just a cliche.
I just want to...
Alright, so it's Daryl versus Tara.
Yep.
And then... Dun 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 dun.
My Hilltop picks, I have two. I mean, they're picked. I mean, I think Morgan and Carol are gonna die.
I was gonna say Morgan.
I think Morgan and Carol.
But we have to pick one.
If I'm gonna have to pick the latter of the two, I'm gonna pick Morgan.
Morgan versus the guy with the big axe.
Yeah.
Do you accept the guy? Do you accept the guy with the big axe as a relevant character?
He's gonna fucking get killed probably. Which sucks because I really like Jerry, man. He's so funny. He's like, deuces! I'm like, yes, we finally have someone that's happy in this fucking show. And I do think, though, I think Carol and Morgan will get it because, you know what, I
can see Carol more over Morgan. I like Morgan's progression.
Lenny James is just, he doesn't live here. He does a lot of theater and stuff in London. So I think that, like, eventually, I mean, unless I pay him enough, he would...
I did pay him enough. But oh well, there we go.
He's a really... Yeah.
Well, there we go. So we got... That's a good bracket right there. A good synopsis.
We'll get this all jotted down, and then we'll make an infogram, and then put it on our Facebook page and Twitter, so you guys can keep track of where we're at. We'll probably throw in more names in there. We'll get a list of names for each town.
Tara?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, man. It'd be crazy if they changed it up, but...
Alright,
yeah,
so
that's it.
My question for you for this episode, and you can throw me a question in the next episode. I went to Walking Dead. What would happen? How do you think the world would work if they actually find a cure? So there's going to be a cure. So it could have been. It's going to be a cure. You call it most of the zombies pass away. So now after that, like they're good.
Strongest survive.
What do you think there will be new cities growing up and going back to normal? Do you think it's gonna...
I think that it would be the same conflict now where you have one person that's over everyone else, like Negan. And if there is a cure, he takes the cure. And the only way to get it is, if he feels like you're worthy of it. And then wars come up, people get it, and they pass it out. And I think then... But I still feel like it would just... After going through what they've gone through... But
I'm not saying it has to be in the next 5 years. It could be in...
Yeah.
Like, I mean, imagine like in 40 years, most of the zombies most of the human population that were zombies now, they decompose.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer there. And it doesn't have to be like a medicine. It could be, well, most of the zombies are dead. Now we know, every time somebody dies, we poke them in the head.
Mm-hmm.
We know what's going on. It's easier, and we just live with it. Do you think that civilization will recoup, even though it's having all that technology still available? Like it's not.
I think it would recoup because
quickly, just because you know what to do, Well,
you have people like Eugene that know how to manufacture.
That's
stuff.
40 years from now. Eugene is dead.
Well, there would still probably be people that have taught the children how to do things, just like Carl's learning. He eventually learns how to be a blacksmith.
Yeah, blacksmith is medieval techniques.
Correct, but you could. There's other people there, a doctor, they have modern technology, they could...
So you think it will recoup?
I don't think it would recoup all the way, but I think that they would be able to refine... You're not going to open up an automotive manufacturing plant for at least another 100 years unless you have people that know how to run that shit. Mm-hmm. But I think you'd be able to have someone that knows how to make gunpowder, someone knows how to make gasoline, the things you need. Someone knows how to produce electricity, which in their time, there's plenty of fucking generators out there. So all they need is gasoline. If they know someone who knows how to get oil and how to refine gasoline, they could do it.
I agree with you.
I don't think that they're going to get anything crazy. Like they're not going to be popping out fucking hybrids. But
yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that's the thing, and that gets me to the point that when new religions or theories, ceremonies, like, when somebody dies, the loved one of the one comes in and pokes him in the head.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be anybody's, he's died, and maybe they change the guy if he becomes, or if it's not, you walk in and you just...
I think that they would go eventually...
Because eventually it will become a routine. Somebody dies, you stab him in the head, head, and you go away.
I think it would be that religious-wise, they would also become more paganistic again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think as time progressed, we all became more in a singlistic, I don't know if that's a word, but a single deity.
Yeah.
And I think that...
Or, at the same time, or it could be like, the people like the Whisperers take over, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's fun to think about, like, or if there was a cure, like, oh, there's a cure, and everybody cures themselves, and everything is fine, and how do you recoup from all the people that died, all that, it's just such an interesting...
Yeah.
And my last question for you, that maybe if a woman has a baby, and the baby dies, does that she's pregnant, and the baby, the fetus, in this sense, dies, does the fetus become a zombie?
Everyone has the disease, so yeah, I would assume that the fetus would... It would depend, because if the fetus was small enough, obviously...
8 months?
Oh, so if it was
8
like
months?
an actual baby, like Alien, I think it would be like Alien. It'd be eating its way out, like... Wah! And then it would eventually die. But
It's already dead.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be able to grow.
Well, yeah, we'll stay the same.
I
Decompose.
definitely think it would become like Alien, though. Like, oh, it's gonna come out. But at that point, if the fetus, like,
I wish they did that.
Yeah,
like, that would be that's just. Like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Or you can see the little.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
You can follow us at twowordynerds@gmail.com, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Whatever you can.
RedTube. Pornhub,
whatever. Mail us at it's the what's the White House address?
I think the White House address is Solarium.
Let's put the White House.
It's Solarium Tanning. Yes.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week.